unforeseen circumstances. Okay, I am Citizen Jones, and welcome to Journalist Hangout. Today on the program, RCCG Pastor Gandhi Laoye crowned Soun of Ogbomosho, and later on, we'll share this with you. Atiku Obi say presidential elections petition tribunal judgment fundamentally flawed. Head to Supreme Court. Now, I'm hanging out, believe me, with two Ogbomosho boys. Bolaji Tunji is here. Bolaji, I greet you. Good evening.
Evening. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Yeah, wonderful. To
and there's also Yinka Oyegbile. I greet you too.
Thank you very much, Citizen Jones. Long time.
No see.
Are you still on this part of the planet?
I did.
Oh.
All right, so the team is ready. I hope you are. Okay, then, it's not an accident that we are having to start from Oyo State, specifically Ogbomosho. You know, for kingmakers, the job of crowning a king is as painstaking as it is laborious. Yet, a king must be crowned for the people of Ogbomosho in Oyo State. The kingmakers crowned a pastor with the Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG, Afolabi Gandhi Laoye, as the new Soun. Long may you reign, Your Majesty, Kabiesi. Yinkaso, at long last, a king is here, but is the road clear for him?
Very, very clear.
Okay.
Some few hours before this program started, he was at the palace, and what needed
has
to
gone
be
through
done.
the rites?
What needed to be done has been done, and he has been pronounced as the Kabiesi. So what remains is just for the staff of office. Yes.
Doesn't matter.
You know, this has been, since he was selected among all the other contestants, this has been what people have been talking about. Why should a pastor of a church be the king of a town? He has to deal with Muslims. He has to deal with traditional worshippers. I don't agree with them calling them idol worshippers because they are traditional worshippers.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't see any conflict there. I am a Christian, but that does not take away the fact that before the advent of Christianity, we had our own way of life.
Yeah.
And are we going to say that those who died before the advent of Christianity are going to go to hellfire or wherever dead people go? There is no religion anywhere in the world that does not have its own bad side, either Christianity, Islam, or traditional.
Yeah.
And from time to time, religion, the same religion has been used over time to look at the society, change what is bad and what is good. Christianity brought when Christianity was brought here, it was part of issue of slavery. The same thing with Islam.
Yeah.
So they have their own bad side. We have our own bad side. But what I want people to look at is, many have been saying, no, he has contradicted his Christian faith. There is an Oba there in Ogbomosho, Onpetu of Ijeru land, who is a born-again Christian. The last time the General Overseer of Redeem was in Ogbomosho, he was there at the crusade. And he also took part in it. I don't see anything wrong with that. I just think that, look, it is like politics. When you say politics is bad, all the good people withdraw from politics. Then you allow the gangsters to take over.
Yeah.
We should not allow all the bad people to take over the traditional too. Educated and obeying men and women should contribute.
Especially if it is your right so to do.
It is.
Okay. Bolaji, you know, he's not speaking for you.
Definitely.
But, you know, they say give Caesar, wait him be Caesar. Give
God what is God.
So you look at Oba Laoye
Yes.
as mounting the pulpit?
I don't think there's any problem with that.
Yeah.
And we have had instances of monarchs in Yoruba land professing the Christian faith and still being the traditional ruler of their communities.
Or even Islam.
Yeah, exactly. For example, the Osile Okeono of Egbala in those days was a Christian. They were always holding services in his court and all those things. And he's still there up to tomorrow. I will recall that one particular Ijebu Oba also, when he was being crowned, he said that he wasn't going to go through some traditional rites, that he would prefer as a Christian. But they still found a way around it.
Okay.
For example, for us in Ogbomoso, it's a good thing because the last monarch died in 2021 or thereabout. Yeah, December.
After almost 50 years.
Yes. And we've not had a monarch since that time. Okay. So for us to have someone that is acceptable, someone that is qualified to be there, it's a thing of joy for us.
Yeah, the good thing is this time, no wahala.
No.
Oh, it's not that there's no wahala.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of wahala because there was a court case.
Okay.
Some people went to court. One of the princes went to court. Unfortunately, he got an injunction yesterday. Unfortunately, the thing had been done before he could serve injunction.
In fact, to that yesterday, the governor of Oyo State signed into law the Chieftaincy Amendment Bill into law. And the law ousted any suit against choosing a traditional ruler and so on.
Okay, the man in the picture.
Yeah,
that's the man in white.
Yeah, that's the man in white.
Okay. So he's sitting on the throne.
Yeah, he is already.
Calmly and regally on his throne.
In fact, he has gone to the lady or whatever.
Yes.
Where they do the traditional right. He has gone there because that's the information I got now from one of the kingmakers.
You know,
he's already there.
The truth of the matter is that whether you are a Christian, the last king was a Muslim. Okay. Does that
take anything away from?
Look, in Ogbomoso, let me tell you a fact. I've written a book about the town. The truth of the matter is that when you go to Ogbomoso, in every street, almost near each other, you find a church, you find a mosque, you find a church, you find a mosque, and you see traditional shrine, one corner or the other. It doesn't disturb anybody. Yeah. People, look, the Ogbomoso people are very obeying.
Okay.
When it comes to religion, in my family, we have Muslims. We have traditional worship.
Let me shock you. Okay. My mother is a Muslim.
Okay. The show is coming. Don't shock me. Yeah, your mom is a Muslim.
My mom is a Muslim. I'm a Christian.
Okay.
She was born a Christian. She converted to Muslim, and we all live together. Everybody.
Your wife is a Muslim.
No, my wife is a Christian, but my mom is Muslim.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem.
But for me, there's no hassle, especially when you give Caesar his due.
Exactly.
Give the other man his due.
The people of Ogbomoso wanted this person, and he has been crowned because if among the people that were interviewed,
he's educated,
and the most qualified from one of what I was told.
All right.
Was just people trying to bring
the truth of it is that
nobody must go to court.
People will probably go to court.
I mean, it
is their right.
There was a time somebody was saying that people should not go to court, and a lawyer said, if people don't go to court, how is it going to fit? So people must go to court.
People will go to court.
He's qualified. He's obeying.
Yes.
Like the policeman who was asked not to chop bribe. He say, "Oga, if I no chop, how I go chop?"
You know, he's stepping into this shoe, succeeding one of the most successful traditional ruler the town has ever witnessed.
In Yoruba land.
So, I mean, with his experience and his entrepreneurship, we believe the town will blossom.
Yeah. All right, Kabiesi, if you are watching us, if you are watching us, the journalist Hangout family is saying Kabiesi to you. Kade Pelori.
Yes.
Ki ashe ko pelenu.
Yeah.
All right,
I've inducted you.
Okay. Now to our next story. You know, for the coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Ali Pate, it was a rude awakening of sorts at the 13th biennial delegates meeting of the Scientific Conference of the Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria, held in Kano. Now, the minister, represented by the chief medical director of the Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital, Professor Abdurrahman Abba Sheshe, lamented the deplorable state of the health sector of our country. To him, funding and brain drain are the two major factors responsible for the morass in the sector. Now that we know the problem, shall we go and work on it? We now know the problem.
Yeah. Yes, we know the problem. But this problem is not something that's new. It's not like when you say you are setting up a committee, to identify certain problems. We have always known these problems are there. So the minister has just stated what we've always known, that we have had problems in the health sector, and this problem could be attributed to the brain drain, poor facilities, and
poor funding.
Poor funding, and even the attitude of some of the practitioners in that
attitude
sector.
To work.
Yeah, exactly. Because from the experience I've had, especially in the general hospitals and all those things, you see, it's like these people really don't understand the essence of life, what is supposed to be important to them, and that is to save lives. And the attitude, the way they treat patients. There was an accident that happened some years back. A colleague of ours had an accident at the airport. He was a journalist too. Yeah. We took him to the general hospital in Ikeja. It was there. The accident happened in the evening, around 4 p.m. We were there throughout the night with him. They were taking care of him. In a developed country, a man that survived more than 24 hours is not supposed to die again.
Yeah.
But since I would die about 24 hours later.
Care was no longer
there. Because there was negligence. Yeah. And what happened? We were very angry. We did a petition, and the government said they were going to institute a probe, which they did. But at the end of it, nothing came out of it. People are not punished. Once people do things and they are not punished for the crime, there's going to be a problem in the country, and this is the problem they're going to be having. So the minister has identified some of this problem. Then he should tell us the way forward on it.
That's it. Inka, they say not today. We've been there before.
Yes. I remember very clearly the former First Lady, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, once went to the presidential, what do they call it now? The Aso Rock clinic.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was alarmed that there were no medications, no medicine, no this, no that. She even specifically said, not even Panadol. And then you ask yourself, the money that has been voted for this,
what happened to it?
President, what happened to it? I want to see a situation where the president of Nigeria, or the governor of a state will have any ailment and will not go abroad and insist that it must be treated in the facilities. Yeah. We are all aware, or we are all living witnesses to a governor in the South region, I won't mention his name, who said he has built a world-class hospital. Shortly after that, he went to Abuja and he had an accident. Lo and behold, where did they fly him to? He was flown abroad. Why not to the facility that he claimed is world-class?
If you ask me, now who I go ask?
So the truth of the matter is that we must move this thing forward.
Inka, sometimes you ask yourself, the officers of state know where the problem is and the possible answers, but they pussyfoot or they won't do anything at all. You wonder if it is not deliberate.
Well, you see, some of these things are deliberate. And also, we also have to blame ourselves.
Who are these us?
Each and every one of us as Nigerians.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. I think about 2 months now or so, I went to Orile Agege General Hospital. The facilities there and the workforce that I saw, I was impressed. The atmosphere, neat, good, and the way the workers relate with you. I was asking myself, is this Nigeria? That is one. But go to another.
You were not watching a film.
No, I wasn't watching a film. I even put it on the social media to say that. But somebody who was said that, okay, maybe because they've seen me on TV and so on. I said, no. Most of those who were attended to before me and even after me, it was the same kind of courtesy that I saw. I think the medical director in that Orile Agege hospital deserves the praise. Now, but go to another clinic or to another.
Well, let me tell you, Lagos State has
tried.
Doing very well. They are doing very well.
And that's where I'm going, that sometimes we have to blame ourselves. You see, the governor or the commissioner for health or the minister of health cannot be everywhere. The truth of the matter is that those who are put in charge must be ready to make sure that they discipline their workforce. Because when you don't do that, look, everybody like to the easy way out. Yeah. People like to come to the office, sit down the whole day. After the end of the day, they go home. And when the salary is delayed, they complain. They will not think of how they have shortchanged the system. So what are we saying now? The minister has seen where the problem lies. It is now left for him. Because it is not only to say that we put money in, we put 24 billion in the health system. The question is, where is that 24 billion? How does it go? We must follow the trail of this money.
Which is saying, Bolaji, it can be done.
It can be done. Look, they did something in Lagos State. I could remember, was it Fashola that was the governor then? That when he built this Ikeja General Hospital, you had maybe he needed to do some checkups. He went there to do it. I could remember that time. Lagos State, you have to give it to them. They are really doing very well. Although they are, but in every situation, you always find the odd ones. Yeah, the
black sheep.
Yeah, the black sheep. Yeah, exactly. You know, in Nigeria, the health facility has always been a major issue with us. It's always been. And today, when you look at Nigeria, Nigeria has the second highest maternal mortality rate globally. Yeah. Globally, it is quite unfortunate. When things that people are not supposed to be dying for, people are dying for. Women, maybe they have eclampsia, hypertension.
Bolaji, now we are retooling our country. So the health sector must be a part of the...
It should be. It should be. Everywhere, not only the health sector. Every part of this society, of our society. Because we kept complaining. We also have to ask, like Yinka said, what are we doing as citizens? What are we doing? Are we really following the trend of making this country a better place for every one of us? No, because there are certain things that we do personally in our own little corner that is detrimental to what we are also talking about.
Okay. We always blame others, but we don't blame ourselves.
Exactly.
That's the thing. I live here now, I see traffic ahead, I veer off and drive one way, and then I'll be blaming every other person and government. That is the problem. Because we must all do our own part.
And leave the rest.
If the government is not doing its own part, let us point it out. And then in our own little corner, let us keep our house clean so that we will be able to know that this problem is not arising from me. I've done my own part. It's left for the government to do its own part.
All right. Well, the Honorable Minister has just taken office. This is not a dash, it's a marathon.
It is a 4-year race. And you see, one thing I like very much about this, especially the Minister of Health, is a man I've followed his career. He's a very, very diligent man when it comes to the health. You know, he was Minister of State for Health at one time. And, so he's coming back this time, I believe, is to, you know, when you are on the driver's seat.
Rather reminds me of Professor Jibril
Aminu. When you are on the driver's seat, exactly. When you are on the driver's seat, you can direct what goes on. So the man has had his field now as the Minister of Health. So all the experiences he has garnered from his international appointment, and he was supposed to get something higher before he was named a minister, and he decided to come back home to give back and also help to retool the system. I believe very strongly that he is going to make a change. we are going to remember him as we keep remembering Professor Olikoye.
Okay. So to you, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, we wish you Godspeed. All right, I hear we must make some money. We go on a commercial break. We should be back very shortly. Stay with us. This is Journalist Hangout on TVC.
TerraQ or Rapjoy, unleash taste.
It's time for another insightful and exciting experience. TVC Communications announces a call for entries for the 2023 Female Senior Secondary School Debate Championship. To qualify, write an essay of not more than 400 words on the topic, is social media doing more harm than good? Articulate your position on this subject and send in your entry to corporate communications at tvccommunications.tv. Deadline, September 10th, 2023. Join us as we embark on this journey to expose young minds to critical thinking together. This project is powered by the TVC Women's Network.
Okay, welcome back. Now to our next story. You know, the gallantry of our fighting troops in the theaters of war across the country is paying dividends, and even if not widely reported, we can tell you that the Defense Headquarters says our troops have neutralized as many as 817 terrorists, apprehended 1,326 criminals, and rescued no less than 721 hostages in different operations across the country in the last 3 months. Now, this heartwarming news was revealed by the Director of Defense Media Operations, General Edward Buba, while addressing newsmen in Abuja. It can only get better. Yinka.
Well, we want to commend our troops for this gallantry. And we know what they are facing is not an easy thing. It's an unconventional war. And it gladdens our hearts when we see this kind of victory story being told. However, until we completely defeat these terrorists, we should not give up. I really like the way the current service chiefs are working. It shows that they all understand what is going on. And they have all been, at one time or the other, field commanders of where the terrorists are. So they understand the terrain dynamics very well and the dynamics. So it is a news that gladdens one's heart. And we believe very seriously that they will not let this victory make them to relax. Because, you know, there are times when you have had strings of victories, you tend to relax. But this is not time for them to relax. We don't want to see a situation where our men are going to be coming back home in body bags and all that. Everything must be done. And I believe the presidency is also being challenged to say that, look, because, I mean, how do you want to see it? There's no president in the world that will not be happy to say that I inherited a war, but I conquered it. That it was during my turn that this stopped.
Yeah.
So I expect that President Bola Tinubu will further strengthen the military and make them understand that this war is a war that we must fight to the end.
Yeah. Balaji, until the last terrorist is taken care of, we can't sleep with our 2 eyes
No,
closed.
we can't. But I'm telling you, some days back, I posted something on the social media. I said, this terrorism war, this war against kidnappers, against bandits, is going to be over very soon. I posted it on Facebook. I don't know, you can place it in front of mine on Facebook. And I know the reason why I said that. This war is going to be won. And it's been won. Now, the man that is at the helm of affairs, Lagbaja, the army general, is one of the best that this country has ever produced. The man is going to perform. Don't doubt that fact. And we have a president that is also willing to ensure that we have peace in this country, not part of this country. I think it's a win-win situation for every one of us, for the country. So this war is going to be won. It may take time, a little bit of time, but not much. But it's going to be won. Because there are so many other factors that are also involved. Not the kinetic thing that we are talking about, okay, go and face it. No, there are so many other factors, external factors that are also affecting this thing. But those factors are gradually giving way. And that's why I say this war will be won.
Yeah, Balaji, but consider this. Look at the figures coming from the general, you know, the spokesman, the military spokesman.
Yes.
They are so unnerving, you know, and tells you these people cross into our country at will.
Yeah, you see.
Does it not bother you?
It's worrisome. For every right-thinking Nigerian, it's supposed to be worrisome to everybody. Because the fact that you are in the southwest or in the south-south doesn't mean what is happening in the south or northeast is not affecting. We are all Nigerians. And we have blood running in our veins. It is very worrisome. The other day, when the man was giving his briefing, it was about 42 that they apprehended. 231 terrorist collaborators, 4,560 terrorists surrendered. And people, so many have been killed. You can now ask them, is there a factory where they are producing
Where did they come from?
Exactly. You now ask to say, where is the factory where these people are being produced? Is there a particular factory where they are being produced? But you see, we also have to look at our borders. We have to sanitize what's happening in the border. We have to ensure that because I learned that in the north, especially that area, Nigeria, we have a lot of people just crossing in at will. In fact, the other day I was reading about a farmer in Nigeria saying he had his farm in the Niger Republic because he closed the border, he can't go to farm again.
You know, our border with Niger covers about 7 states.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and it's not as if you have a wall or anything there.
No.
So people just walk in and walk out. So it's very easy for them to cross at any point. So this is an area the government should also look into, those borders of us, especially where we have this insurgency. We need to, in Niger, like what this man planned to do, or what he tried to do in America, Trump.
To build a wall.
Maybe we should put a wall.
Well, the truth of the matter is that that's the problem of fund.
No, the government can raise the fund if they want to.
You know, I'm looking forward to a time when Nigeria will go back to what it used to be. I've told this story before.
You are not thinking old school now.
Well, part of it, I was born and raised in the north.
Okay.
I remember in those days, from Jos down to Maiduguri, people drive. And mostly, the driving is done even in the night because your car engine will be cooler and the roads will be free. Well, you can't do that again. So I'm looking forward to that time when Nigeria will come back to that period that people can travel without any fear.
And let.
I've driven from here, from Lagos to Jos with my 3-month-old baby and my wife. Well, I can't do that now. I drove right from Lagos here.
That baby won't let you.
No, you see, the truth of the matter...
The road is no longer safe.
Exactly, that is the problem.
Yes.
So, we must look forward to... we must bring back the country to that time again. I mean, you find out that even military people, their trucks no longer travel in the night. So if the military can't travel in the night, who are you, a bloody civilian, to do that in the night? So we must have a way. And as the military itself has been saying, the kinetic solution is not the only way. Yes. We must make our people, we must engage our people. People must be engaged in doing something. I mean, a situation where you have young men littering the street, expecting you that you have struggled to buy a car, and when you come, they say, Baba, Baba, and all that. It won't go anywhere. Yeah. So we must look for ways to provide jobs. I mean, if there are jobs and there are people who don't want to do, it's a different thing. Yeah. But when there are people who are ready to work, but the job is no longer there, what do you do?
Yeah, but Bolaji, they talk about inter-service, intel-exchange, intelligence. Yeah, this is when you need it.
Yeah, it is very important to have that. And I think there's that synergy among our different security outfits now. Yeah. Because if you don't exchange information, there's no way you are going to be able to function effectively, you know. And I know the police, the army, you know, they work together now. Although there are times that could be whatever, forcing rivalry, or what do you call it, you know, occasionally. But at least, and it is the result of this that we are seeing now. It's not the army that will go to kidnappers' hideouts. It's an investigation that will have been done by the police, the DSS. Yeah. Then they now invite people that, okay, we have to do a joint storming of these people's hideout. And even, not even the kidnappers, even some of these people that are bandits. Yeah. There must be intelligence gathering before you can take any action.
That's it.
And, yeah, so.
Okay. We wish our fighting forces Godspeed. To our last subject this evening, you know, election outcome contestation in our country oscillates between reality and utopia. So the 2023 presidential election results were going to be contested at the court. Former Vice President and candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, at the polls, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, expressed dissatisfaction with the tribunal judgment and headed for the Supreme Court. He was addressing a World Press Conference. His Labour Party counterpart, Peter Gregory Obi, faulting the judgment as fundamentally flawed, is going to the Apex Court too to seek redress. Now, whereas Atiku said he was going the whole hog because he would not validate mandate banditry, please underline that. Obi insisted that the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal ruling was not conterminous with justice, meaning not relevant to what actually happened. A lot of fireworks ahead. Okay, we have a package addressing the issue. Let's go there.
5 members of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal on Wednesday unanimously affirmed Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the elected president of Nigeria, a decisive judicial resolution of the credibility questions that have hovered around his election for over 5 months. In an over 12-hour-long judgment, the panel of judges led by Justice Aruna Samani dismissed all 3 petitions challenging the president's election. The APC has applauded the appellate court verdict, describing it as a win for democracy.
This epochal judgment has reinforced our democracy and underscored the vibrancy and independence of the judiciary. The judgment has also reinforced that our party won and emphatically won the presidential election on February 25, 2023, beyond any doubt.
The same cannot be said for the PDP candidate who is challenging the appeal court judgment at the Supreme Court.
It is a judgment that I refuse to accept. I refuse to accept the judgment because I believe that it is bereft of substantial justice. Consequently, I have asked my lawyers to activate my constitutionally guaranteed rights of appeal to the higher court.
It is to force pronouncement on some of these unacceptable ethical issues for the love of the country and its future generation. I also call on members not to lose focus and be distracted. The NWC is doing everything possible to keep this party together so that we will give this government a credible opposition. And we will continue to pursue our mandate.
Both Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi have indicated their intentions to appeal against the judgment at the Supreme Court, which is the final arbiter on presidential election matters. Habida Lawal, TVC News, Abuja.
All right, Yinka, you saw this coming?
Definitely.
Okay.
Because a Nigerian politician is an incurable optimist. Even in a place where he knows he cannot win, he will have that belief that he will win. And this is not helped by the lawyers. But anyway, the lawyer will have to do his job. So
and his pay.
And his pay. So for me, all this contestation, it has always been there. 1999, when we returned to democracy, it was there. Obasanjo was sworn in before the case was dispensed with. 2003, it was the same thing. 2007, 2011, the only exception, 2015.
Jonathan didn't challenge.
So the opposition will always feel that it has been cheated, or whoever loses the game will always feel like that. But the truth of it is, in this case now, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not going to speak as a lawyer, but I'm going to speak as a journalist and as somebody who has been following this case all along.
Well, there's one thing that
yes,
that links the lawyer to the journalist. They deal on facts.
Exactly.
Facts.
That is where I'm going.
Go there.
Now, if you look at all the level of arguments that the two parties laid before the court.
The prayers.
Exactly. They call it prayers. What they laid before the court are issues that have been dealt with before. A man has been governor for 2 terms. You have spoken about whether he graduated from University of Chicago or Chicago State University or Chicago Polytechnic or whatever. That has been dispensed with. You still bring this same case in? Okay, if you are going to talk about rigging of the election, bring your facts. Up till this moment, the facts that they produced or they gave the judges, are they telling us that the judges didn't look at these facts? These are the issues we should look at, whether it's IRF or whatever and so on and so forth. The election has been won and lost. I was not at all the polling centers, so I can't be fairly. I can't say that it was won fair and square.
Yeah.
But from the little putting here and there, everybody agreed that there were intimidation. Yes, okay. We all. There were intimidations where one party is strong than the other. In the place where APC is not strong, their supporters were intimidated. In places where APC was strong, their supporters intimidated the opposition. The same with Labour Party. It is only, as the late Balarabe Musa would say, is just the counter force, the force that is bigger than the other that will overshadow. So now, if you say this man didn't win this election, and you couldn't provide the evidence for the judges to follow, the court can only grant what you ask for. They won't give you what you didn't ask for.
No.
So
The court is not for the Christmas.
exactly. So as far as me I'm concerned, I think they've made their case. The judges have looked through it, and we all say the court has the final say. If they really want to go to the Supreme Court,
They say they are going.
are they going to add more facts?
No way.
Or is the same?
It's the same thing. No, it's the same thing. It's a record that they deal with.
It's good for our system. I wish them all the best.
Yeah.
But I think they should also prepare for another election.
Bolaji, we always want a utopian state where things are done correctly, blah, 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 and so on. But we are not ready to pay the price.
Well, that is
Our politicians are not behaving. So the INEC will remain the whipping boy anytime a thing like this happens.
Of course, it's always like that. It's the INEC that everybody bounces on because they are the umpire. The INEC is the umpire of any election in the country. And another thing I want to say, INEC should extend whatever they are doing to the state level so that they conduct election at the state level. If they can, it will be better for our democracy. But in any case, you see, in this country, the last election, the February 25 election, will go down in history as the election that had the lowest number of turnout that we all know that. Yeah. Then all the three candidates, it was one of the most clearly contested for election.
Three frontline.
The frontliners. It's one of the most clearly contested election. They only won 12 states each. You understand?
Key.
12. I'm not talking about making to 25% of I'm talking about the states that they won. That has never happened in the history of Nigerian since 1999. Anybody that wins the presidential election will take at least 25, 30 states. Yeah. All of them had.
Are you also of the opinion that the LP, Labour, became the game changer?
The
catalyst?
Yes, because let me tell you, if Labour had not been there, because people said that the vote that went to Labour should have actually gone to PDP. I don't know. But at the end of the day, even if they added the two together, there are certain things that will still change. Because there will be two parties. And people will not have a choice of three parties. So at the end of the day, it's the person that will win. You understand? But the fact is that most of, like Yinka said, most of our politicians are extraordinarily optimistic. You know, that they even in their household, when they have not even done well for the people, they believe that everybody. I've heard of a chairman, that one of these people that went to contest in Oyo State. In his ward, he had two votes. In his ward, 2 votes.
Only
2 votes. Now you ask, this man has a wife, has children. So what happened? You understand? So
maybe the children are not were not of voting age.
No. What about the wife? And the other, he doesn't have friends in the society.
In the what?
So it's a function of how well you have done and the belief of the people in you that, look, this man is going to deliver. He's going to do well if we give him a mandate. Unfortunately, that's always the problem in this country.
Inca, you should be bothered, as I am, that rather than allow the ballot box to be stronger than the bullet, we are allowing the judiciary to be the ombudsman here.
You know why? Because in everything that we do, we don't trust ourselves. And unfortunately, you go to the judiciary. If the judiciary gives a judgment, for instance now, as far as the APC is concerned, our judiciary is the best in Africa or in the world today.
Okay.
As far as PDP and LP and the rest are concerned, it is the worst. So it depends on which side of the divide you are. But for me, what we need to look at is what are the issues that have been treated. But you know, politics is an emotive game.
Yeah, even still talking about the logic you are raised now.
Yes.
Peter Obi's governorship was restored by the court.
By the courts.
And at that time, it was the best in the world. But now, because the shoe is on another foot, the music has changed.
Natural.
And so that's what I'm saying. So you can never have a one view of this issue. Now, the election conducted by Jega, I judge one of the best election Nigeria has ever conducted. For those who felt Jega was good. Yakubu too.
Apologies to June 12. Go on.
Well, so now for Mahmoud Yakubu too now, for those who have won, for instance now, APC won at the presidential level. A state where PDP, for Bauchi now, Yakubu will be a toast because it's PDP. But at the presidential level, because their party didn't win, this is the same thing everywhere. It's the human nature. We said this before. When a student scores 90%, oh boy, what did you score? I scored 90%. If you scored 50 or 40, oh, what did you score? Don't mind the lecturer, I gave me 40%. Oh, that is it. As far as this thing goes, there is no way you can begin to say, let me give a final word on this.
Yeah.
You remember Al Gore, who was vice president to Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the election was won and lost, and he went, what did he say? He said he's done with politics. Rather than pull down the tempo, he said he's no longer interested in politics. He's now a climate activist because he believes that America is greater than his own ambition.
Yeah. Yeah, but the last but one president,
yes,
Donald Trump, went to court.
No, that was good to pull down. Was going to
pull down the whole tempo, and he's facing the music.
Exactly, now. Because America would not allow that.
He's facing the music now.
He's facing the music,
and that's one of
that's what we need.
You will see that no other president or governor will do such a thing. Yes. If a former president can be taken to court, but in our own case,
anything goes.
Anything goes.
Yeah, Bolaji, are we going to be like this?
No, we will evolve. We will evolve to something better. The only thing that is constant in life is change.
Yeah.
Things will definitely change. We can't continue because people will be thinking, every day there are developments. We can't continue like this. The election that we had an election in 1993, it was adjudged the fairest in the country. We have had instances of other people conducting election that they have been adjudged very fair and very good too. So we are going to continue to change. Things will continue to change. There will be new improvements, this and that. You know, the election of the previous years are not as better as the one we have had now because there wasn't anything like beavers or whatever now that made it much more authentic. You know, so it's
mine is if we desire a state of utopia, we must be ready to work for it.
Exactly.
But I hear our colleague CKM, Chris Wandu, is watching us from somewhere in Canada, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
CKN, many thanks. Tell them we are retooling our country.
Make sure you bring something for us.
I saw him buying bread in the supermarket in Canada. I said, why didn't buy agege bread?
All right, Yinka and Bolaji, two Ogbomosho boys, I thank you all for coming.
Thank you very much.
And on behalf of the Backroom Boys, I say thank you for another 60 minutes behind us. Don't worry if you missed any part of this program. Join us later tonight at 11 for our repeat broadcast. And on Sunday, we expand the field for you from 1:30 to 3:30. Also, we're on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now.
For me, want to treat people anyhow. Imagine this officer. I will clear our line. Don't cost. Bruh, come up there. Size no matter. The biggest dragon for Westeros. Now you small picking face sound. Climb down. Formula 1. Fear catch me.
He found the gold and asked her for just shaking me piece of the pie, and she killed him for it.
Obini,
fair women,
No one tells a story like we do. Showmax, Africa's original streaming service.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
Do you spend the night trying to get comfortable? Your knees rub bone on bone. Your back and hips ache. You wake up in pain? Not anymore. ShopX TV is proud to introduce the Contour Legacy Pillow. The patented, ergonomically